If you come for me, I'm sending Jesus after you. Hey y'all, this is my Real Housewives of Salt Lake City review. This is the 3rd episode, I believe, so let's just get into it. So we open this episode with a montage of what the ladies are doing. Meredith and her husband is still trying to convince us that they're like sexually attracted to each other and madly in love. It's just basically a montage of what all the wives are doing. As much as I see Salt Lake City, like if I lived there, I would definitely blow my brains out. But anyway, we are on Heather. She's at her business and she's FaceTiming Whitney. So Heather is telling Whitney about her conversation she had with Jen. In her mind, they're best friends again. And she's trying to convince Whitney that Jen is on this path of forgiveness, and Whitney hasn't really spoken to Jen since the reunion. I honestly think Jen and Whitney were never close. They were just close because of Heather. And currently in real time, Jen is now calling Whitney a racist. That seems what the theme is this season, is to just call one of the white women a racist. So next scene we're with Jen and Lisa and one of Jen's friends, and they're doing some type of snow activity. You know, Jen always say, I'm from Hawaii, I don't know this snow sports, but she stayed doing snow sports as activities. Yep, and already she just fell on her ass. Ooh, I'm tired of Lisa and Jen's scenes. They are boring together. Can we mix it up a bit? So Jen, how are you doing, Jen? I just talked to Meredith and I think she's open to talking to you. You know, I just realized I do the most impressions for Salt Lake City. There's just so many people to imitate on here, like so many foolish people. So Jen is telling Lisa she's gonna organize the first girl group activity. This is gonna be the first time all the ladies get together. And you know, Jen, she just has to be the alpha female and organize it all. I honestly think it should be somebody else, but Mary can't lead an event. Maybe Meredith? I don't know. Maybe Heather. I think Heather should lead the event, but why is the person that has the most beef with everybody doing the first group activity? So she's telling Lisa she's gonna ask all the ladies a bunch of different questions, some information that she needs. She needs their full ID name, their weight, height, eye color. And then Jen assures her that she's not gonna steal her identity. Lord, the foreshadowing. And she tells Lisa the reason why she needs all these stats is because of the weight on the ice, so they won't fall through. Yeah, so this is why I don't live in Salt Lake City or cold climates or even visit cold climates. That does not sound fun to me. Jen says she's invited everybody, including Meredith, but Meredith has not got back to her yet. And Lisa is still trying to play mediator between the two. I'm guessing this is her plot line this season. Okay, Jen's impression of Meredith is really good. Damn, they still talking? So Lisa is now telling Jen her beef with Heather and Whitney. It's not really Whitney, it's just Heather. She thinks she's so manipulative and she can't stand her, but she's gonna try to make amends. Oh, that's what I'm getting from this conversation. So next scene, we're with Mary and her son. Oh my God, are they really gonna torture us right now? They can't go from Lisa and Jen to now Mary and her son. Her interesting son. Oh God, here we go. This young man is 18 years old. I think he's just shy, but I'm not sure why he acts like he was raised in a basement, like with no human interaction but his mom. And here go Mary again in her confessional, just trashing her family members. She says she loves her son, but he gets on her last nerve. Now, I thought Mary learned her wig lesson last season. This wig looks distressed, especially during the close-up, but she's scolding her son for not blessing his grilled cheese sandwich. He doesn't really know what to do. He's just smiling like, Like they need subtitles for this young man. Oh, Lord Jesus, louder! Oh, Jesus, that. Like, this scene, what am I watching? So the discussion Mary's having with her son is the topic of moving out. It looks like he doesn't want to or even know how he's gonna sustain himself without his mom taking care of him. But it seems like she's ready for him to get the hell out. But didn't she say she was lonely at first? Oh yeah, she said her son doesn't even talk to her, so I get it. His answer to everything is, I'm not sure yet. I don't know yet. I don't know. And did production increase the volume of him biting into his sandwich? Why does Mary want her child to join the army? Oh, it's gonna be so fun for him. He's gonna jump out of planes. And did she watch like these Looney Tunes when they're in the army? Because that's not what it's like. Mary, why don't you join the army? She is a wackadoo. She's saying maybe he needs to drown a little bit. Bitch, what? Bravo knew what they were doing when they signed her up. So it looks like he gets on her last nerve, like as he's biting into his sandwich and cheese is coming out of his mouth. I don't even know why I'm on this scene so much, y'all, but I'm just so fascinated by these two weird human beings. So then she gets frustrated with him and says, "You sure you don't want to join the army? Join the army." He's like, no. So next scene we're with Jenny and her family. Now, unfortunately, this is a best fiends tea. I get that she loves her family, but they doing some type of paint activity. We gonna fast forward. I love her daughter though. She's so entertaining. Like I love seeing her, but this is a best fiend scene. So Jenny and her husband moved to the living room to chat for a bit. So they're just discussing how great their kids are, and her husband right off the bat says, "We should have more kids." Right after he says this, you can hear a pin drop. She's like, honestly, no. I really hate these husbands that just force pregnancy upon their wives as if pregnancy for them is easy as just putting a quarter in a gumball machine and turning it and, oh, a baby. Pregnancy for a woman, or so I hear, is very taxing on a woman's body and very strenuous for 9 months. And it seems like he already knows how she feels about it, but he's like, yeah, I want more kids. Oh my God. She said she had 9 miscarriages and 3 C-sections. Wow. And her husband is a doctor. I'm starting to think that Jenny is one of the wives that get on Real Housewives just so they can get a divorce. Wow, he does not give a fuck. She's bringing up her age, and of course he knows her history. He's just like, I know. I mean, we can find a way. Really? And he's so lackadaisical and cavalier about it. Okay, what else? You can have kids. You have a vagina. Do it. Men like that, I feel like they just have children for like a vanity purpose. So Jenny looks very uncomfortable on camera talking about this, and she tells her husband, like, you know how I feel about it, and we just had a good date. I don't want to talk about this anymore. And he obliges. So next scene we're with Heather and her kids, and fast forward. Okay, she loves her kids, blah, blah, blah. She doesn't want them to be like her and live life, blah, blah, blah. I got it. Next scene, we are with Meredith and Brooks, my favorite pair. Oh my God, this episode is killing me right now. We are like 30 minutes in. Ooh, let's get to the charges, please, because I don't know. So Meredith is having a little fashion preview of some pieces that's going to be in her store soon. So she invited some people that are fashionably inclined. So I don't know why she invited Mary, but Mary is here. Wow, so we get to Mary's confessional, and the producers ask her, what do you think of Meredith's fashion style? That's kind of foul that Meredith just invited her just for her to shade her in her confessional. And for Mary to judge anybody on fashion when the first time we saw you on season 1, you looked like a turquoise loofah? Come on now. So I personally think Meredith is kind of fashionable. I mean, she's not Giselle, but I think she's like a little bit above Kyle, because Kyle's been missing the mark lately, but I think she's on that level where I don't have a problem with most of the things that she wears. So Mary, Meredith, and her son sit down to chat for a bit, and apparently Brooks and Mary have bonded. And it's all because Brooks is being attacked on Twitter, and they bond because they both were targets of gent. Honestly, all the negative feedback he had on social media was because of his behavior. I think maybe 10% of it was Jen, but the kid is just a spoiled white privileged twink, you know? Like, he's annoying. That's why people came after him. She was speculating about his sexuality, and he doesn't even know what he is yet. Oh, Lord, here we go. So, Brooks ain't gay. Okay, he's not gay, Meredith. Like, I could see if he was 13 or 15. This young man is 21 years old. Like I've said it in my past 2 videos that he knew what he was doing. He was trying to be cute in the confessional. And when you mixing with somebody crazy, what you expect? And the way they talking to Mary, like she's gonna give any type of constructive feedback, is hilarious to me. Mary suggests to Meredith that she talk to Jen and tell her to stop it. Just stop it right now. So I think that's the reason Meredith is gonna go to Jen's event coming up. Okay, Mary, for the shade. She's like, this grown woman in her 50s is coming after your child. Oh my God. So after Mary gives Meredith and Brooks her enlightening advice, she's like, you have to be silent. I have to poop. This chick just farted. She really just farted. So Brooks don't have nothing to say about that in the confessional now, right? But it looks like the show isn't giving him a confessional this year. Oh God, what am I watching? She says that's what the topic of Jen makes her do. It makes her fart. And Meredith and Brooks is just laughing at her. At her. So next scene, it's the day of Jen's event. It's ice fishing. Not sure how interesting that's going to be. But we see all the ladies driving up to meet her. So we see Whitney and Heather driving together, and they're just cautious right now. They're being optimistic that, they won't feel Jen's wrath anymore. And Whitney even brought a life vest because we remember that Jen threatened to drown her last season. And now we're in the car with Lisa and Jenny, and they're discussing if Meredith is going to show up or not, and if Jen and Meredith are going to finally squash their beef. So Whitney and Heather finally get on the ice to meet Jen. Jen is shading them to the instructor as they're walking up, as if Heather's going to sexually harass one of them. Like, wow. If anybody on this cast needs a disclaimer before you meet them, it's Jen Shaw. So Jen meets Whitney with a hug. That's a good start. And then we see in her confessional, yeah, I threatened to drown Whitney. That was so last year, though. I'm Zen Jen. Really? So first we got Zen Win on Potomac, and now we got Zen Jen. All right. Y'all, I am not pleased with this episode so far. Like, I'm kind of bored. What about y'all? So Lisa and Jenny meet up with the ladies, and it looks like Jenny already knows Heather from her beauty lab, and then she apparently knows Whitney just because she has a pole in her house. So as much as Lisa hates Whitney and Heather, she sure is nice to them. Like, she goes and hugs Whitney like they've been friends for years, and Whitney is confused. Lisa's acting like as if she didn't go to war with these ladies the last time she saw them. Like Whitney and Heather, bad weather, cyclone, destroy. So Jen tells Lisa that Meredith says she couldn't come, and Mary just says she ain't coming. Sitting on the lake isn't her thing, and she don't like fish. As much as Mary be talking about smell, she looked like she smelled like fish. Oh, and look who arrives. It's Meredith. Looked like she changed her mind. She's gonna come after all. Production probably begged her to go. So after walking 2 miles into the ice, Meredith finally meets up with the ladies, and Jen looks shocked that Meredith is there. So the mood right now since Meredith came is just so awkward. Like, they still haven't talked yet, her and Jen. All the ladies definitely feel the tension. So Jen finally approaches Meredith. This is their first time speaking, and Lisa stays so she can be mediator. So Meredith hits the ground running with Jen. She said, your actions do not align with what you say to me. Wow, they only filmed the reunion 2 months before this? I didn't realize they had such a short break between the reunion and filming again. Meredith is speaking very calmly right now. The conversation hasn't gone left yet. So Meredith is now talking about the homophobic tweets that Jen has been liking, and her saying that Brooks has never seen a vagina. I probably would have corrected her and said that I'm not homophobic. Just because I say that Brooks has probably not seen a vagina, that's not homophobic at all. Or liking a tweet that says he's a twink, that's also not homophobic. So I don't know, like, she could have at least stopped her there, but Jen is just listening right now. Negative homophobic microaggressions? Really? Really? Like, I'm black and gay. I mean, I've heard of microaggressions towards my race, but microaggressions towards sexuality? Okay. I mean, it's a first for me. I haven't heard that, but the way she's framing it is just weird to me. And I'm sorry, but Meredith keeps saying that he doesn't know where he stands yet. Girl. He's 21, 22. He don't know where he stands though. Okay. Damn, and Jen just fucked it up with, what are you talking about? Like, really, Jen? Like, that was another way. So as soon as Meredith hears that, she loses it. She looks at Lisa like she's about to self-destruct. I'm talking about reality. Jen says she is tired of getting accused of stuff that she did not do. Like, Jen and accountability is like oil and water. Just some accountability, Jen. Like, I'm not even saying that she was wrong on the Brooks thing, but accept some accountability. Meredith tells Jen, so you didn't like a comment saying that my son was a sissy bitch. Jen is like, no! Honestly, I probably would have liked the comment. I would have been like, yeah, it was funny. Okay, so the tweet actually is, the way I love for Jen to turn around and call Brooks a sissy bitch. Is that homophobic? Really? Maybe if a straight person is saying it. I guess I gotta take myself out of it if I called him a sissy, because it's different. Jen is adamant on saying she didn't like any of the tweets. Someone handles her tweets. Girl, you lying. You lying. Yep, the conversation has gone left. Jen isn't taking any type of accountability. Meredith's getting frustrated as hell with her. They're yelling at each other right now. Oh, she's like, all right, I'm done. I'm done. She's trying not to say disengaging. I want to hear it. We want to hear you say disengaging, Meredith. So Meredith just storms off and Lisa goes chasing after her. Wow, Meredith is hot. Like, I'm expecting her to say, I'm gonna drag you in this bitch. This is the most emotion I've ever seen out of Meredith. Like, season 1, like, she was just real zen and chill. Now she's just like not here for the bullshit. Jen looks a little unbothered. Jen tells Heather she's disengaging. I'm letting her disengage. Jen Shaw ain't shit. So now Lisa's calling Jen to come over and talk to Meredith. And now we have Jenny just launched up out of her seat walking towards Meredith and Lisa. What's she about to do? Ooh, Jenny trying to insert herself. Girl, just sit down. Just sit down. You know, this is not involving you. She's like, maybe you just need to listen to Jen. Like, Jenny is being a little aggressive too, and Meredith is already hot. So now we see Whitney and Heather trying to get Jen to go over and talk to Meredith. Jen is like, I've tried, you guys. I've tried 1,000,000 times with her. No accountability. She still didn't say sorry. I mean, I understand Meredith's reaction. So now Jen begrudgingly gets up and starts walking towards Meredith and Lisa. So Jen finally comes up and Jenny says, Jen, do you want to be friends with Meredith or not? That was very aggressive, Jenny. She then tells you guys need to shut the fuck up and listen to each other. I'm surprised they did not curse her out yet. Meredith is now talking about Brooks again, telling Jenny, do you know how it is to have a 22-year-old going through this and being called? Now, Meredith needs some accountability too on her son. Like, her son signed up for that show to have a confessional, to enter in the women's business. So, I mean, it's fair game that people have comments on him. It is. If I sign up on a reality show and people try to come for me, it's like, you know what? I mean, it's their every right. Is it right? No. Like, I have a whole forum on Lipstick Alley dedicated to me and Alex trashing our show. I mean, what can I do about it? I put myself on a platform, people are going to criticize you. But what Meredith does deserve, though, is an apology from Jen, even if the claims that she's saying is a little skewed. At the end of the day, Jen shouldn't have went at it with someone that's half her age. And Jen Felon Shaw, she's still saying, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like she's going to say this in the court of law, too. Like, she's just going to pretend like she didn't do anything. Yeah, Jen is doing her little gaslighting trick on Meredith, and it's like driving her crazy. Those sunglasses cannot stay on Meredith's face. Oh my God, Jen did not just tell, how do you think my kids feel? Really? Like, what did Meredith do to your child? And Jen ain't got nothing to say. Jen. Just put Jen behind bars. Can we put her behind bars now? I see why Meredith reported your ass to the feds. Because somebody got to get the truth out of you, and I think the feds will. Again, we get a flashback of the scene where Jen is doing grinder. Honestly, in that scene, I don't see how Brooks could see her vagina unless he really was trying to see. Like, because she was clearly curved. Was she just not wearing underwear? I don't know. From the camera angle, it didn't look like he could see her vagina, but I don't know. Also in the flashback, Meredith was laughing at Jen as she was lifting her leg up too. But Meredith has had enough. She storms off, she's going back to her car. Lisa's trying to grab her to bring her back, but Meredith, it looks like she ain't coming back. I am finished! So we see Meredith in her confessional saying that Jen is just incapable of seeing beyond herself. I totally agree with that. It looks like they aren't going to have any type of resolve this episode. And then we see Jen get back to the other ladies and again making herself into the victim. I don't know why everyone's blaming everything on me. They want me to admit that I'm a piece of shit. Well, Jen, you know, you conned elders, so that kind of does make you a piece of shit in the long run. And of course, as Jen is making herself the victim, all the ladies are silent and not holding anything she did accountable. And we get it to be continued, and that is where the episode ends. I didn't really enjoy this episode. I thought it was definitely a best fiends tea. We need to get to the arrests. That's what we need to do, because the women individually, their scenes aren't that interesting. And the new housewife, Jenny, this is episode 3. She needs to step it up, because her daughter is more interesting in her and steals every scene that she's in. I need Jenny to like pick a fight with somebody or something. I mean, she did step up and insert herself between Jen and Meredith's argument, but she need to do more than that. So this is y'all notice, Salt Lake City. Step it up. Step it up. But yeah, let me know whose side you're on. I mean, Jen, of course, is the wrong person, but what do y'all think of what Meredith is accusing Jen of? Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next episode. Bye. Oh, it's dark. Yeah, it's raining in New York.